Okay, let's talk about game three. I mean, what a turnaround for the Pacers. You go out there and in two games where really you were kind of manhandled for what is 48 plus 48, whatever that is, 90, 96 minutes. I guess it was 95 minutes and point whatever seconds. I mean, they lead for point 0.3 seconds in game one. And then I think in total they were leading for like, they showed a graphic on the broadcast, but it was like a minute or something in the series so far. And then they go out and they really take charge of a game and prove why they're in the NBA Finals. And some of the things they did differently that I really liked were the way they defended Shea. They were not really letting him get to his spots, right? But they were okay with him getting into the post, trying to go and get to his spin fade or his one-legged Dirk looking, right? But right as he would catch it in the post, and as soon as he was about to make a move, it was an instant double team, right? And you saw how good it worked with Obi Toppin. I mean, he made one big mistake later on in the game where he went and closed, or he went and doubled, and he just went and doubled with both of his hands on Shea, which is just like, bro, just put your hands up. That's a steal. But a lot of guys are able to go over there, get their hands on some balls and create some turnovers. And then it was also his primary defender wasn't having to work as hard, right? It was Andrew Nemhard most of the time, and he was not letting him get to his spots, but he was okay if Shea went to the baseline and started to post to him because he knew he had some sort of help coming. So I thought that was one of the best adjustments that Rick Carlisle's made so far in this series. I also think offensively, he made some other good adjustments to where he was creating a lot more opportunity for Tyrese Halliburton to get downhill. And a lot of the NBA media was criticizing Tyrese for not taking as many shots as he should or whatever. And I understand the intent behind that, but I'm just not sure if that's the kind of player he is. He's not really he does sometimes still because he's a great NBA player, but he's not really going to size you up and then just take a step back, right? He does that on occasion, but that's not his bread and butter. So I think it's okay for him to not do that. I think something else that's good about Tyrese is that he's never going to force it, right? Sometimes he takes some deep ones, sometimes he takes some shots that you're kind of just like, I don't know, right? But compared to a lot of stars, which I would consider him a star, he doesn't force a ton of shots. I don't really look at his shots and go, he's not forcing them, right? And he's allowing his teammates to make an impact on the game. And that's how you get these impactful role players like a Benedict Mathurin, right? This is the Benedict Mathurin game. This is how you get a TJ McConnell. That's how you get an Obi Toppin coming in and hitting 5 threes like he did in game one, I think. So I think he allows his teammates to be exemplified in their role and not allows, but puts them in the best position to exemplify their role, which I think is awesome from a superstar. And let's move on to the Thunder here. And I still think, and I've always thought, that this Thunder team was going to roll through this playoffs. And they're down 2-1, right? On the broadcast, I mentioned they've been here before, which I think is actually a pretty big advantage for them that they've been down 2-1 before and come back to win a series. Obviously, they won it in 7 against Denver. But they're not in a position that's not familiar. So they've done it before, and I mean they lost in similar circumstances with like the Aaron Gordon tip dunk and the Tyrese Halliburton game winner. I mean they've lost at the end of games, come back, whatever. So what I want to see different from the Thunder and what I didn't like in game 3 was the thing I liked the most in game 3, honestly, were the non-Shea minutes. They got a lot from J-Dub. That stretch at the start of the third quarter, I think they went 8-0. Rick Carlisle calls timeout. And then it was back and forth for the end of it, right? And they take Shea out with, I think, like a minute to go. And J-Dub, just throughout that third quarter and the start of the fourth, was playing amazing. He was getting to the rim at will. He was finishing well. Jump shot was falling. I mean, I think he only ended up hitting 1-3. But I just felt like the non-Shea minutes were giving the Pacers more struggles than when Shea was on the court. Because Shea's so ball dominant that they had a whole game plan revolving around Shea. And when it was just J-Dub, the ball was moving, it wasn't sticking to anyone's hands, and everyone on the court was making an impact, and I thought that was awesome. Obviously, you don't want to just sit your best player like your Rick Pitino, right? But I do think I would have enjoyed to see maybe Shea still on the court, right? Maybe not use him as a decoy, but still give him a ton of touches, but maybe just run your stuff through J-Dub just to see what the defense does to change what they had been doing. So is that big of a complaint? Not really. And I hear a lot of people talk about like what happens after Shea can't create, like if he can't get to his stuff, what happens after. And I think J-Dub, when he's on, is a great second option. And I think even their role players, I mean, Chet didn't have the best game. Isaiah Hartenstein isn't making the biggest impact right now. I mean, Isaiah Joe hit 2 threes in this game. It's just, I think the role players can carry a little bit more of the load. They have talented guys around them. I mean, you had a 20 whatever point performance or 18 from Aaron Wiggins in game 2, and then he doesn't score in game 3. Right? I think part of that is because, like I was mentioning about Tyrese Halliburton, he's able to trust his role players to go out there and have huge performances. And I think if Shea can, rely on his guys a little bit more, it might give the Thunder a little bit more of an edge in this series, because the offense does look very like stagnant when Shea is just out there trying to get to his stuff sometimes. So relying on his teammates, I think, could be a huge plus for the Thunder moving forward. And I also think defensively, the Pacers did a lot of what the Thunder do well. They forced turnovers. They took really, really good shots. There wasn't a ton of possessions, so I was like, it's a bad one. The only ones I thought were bad ones were Miles Turner's shots, but Miles Turner made such a big impact on the defensive end in the fourth quarter that it kind of didn't really matter to me. I think he ended up with like 5 blocks, and he just shut down Chet in that fourth quarter. I mean, Chet was low-key scoring at will at the start of the game, so Miles Turner had a huge impact. I guess I'm looking at this Pacer team, and I'm thinking they're up 2-1 in the NBA Finals, right? Nobody predicted them to get here, but they're able to change their play style, not like to the biggest extent, but they're able to game plan so well and execute those game plans almost to perfection. And I credit that a lot probably to their coaching staff, but also their players for being so malleable and being able to get put in these different positions and perform so well. Guarding Jalen Brunson and playing as a Knicks team that's way different to defend than a Thunder team, but then doing both of those things so well while also sticking to their bread and butter, which is like picking up 94 feet, tons of ball pressure, a little bit of some wing denials, still letting the pass get through, but no easy ones. And then, you have your rim protector in the middle, and if Chet's not shooting it well, he can kind of just sit down there and affect these shots really well. So I think that's the biggest plus for the Pacers, is they just have a lot of guys that are super bought in, and they're able to change, not change, but I guess like adapt to these new scenarios, which I think is the best thing you can ask for from role players. And I mean, Ben Shepherd's coming in and giving a ton of good minutes. And I think honestly in this third and fourth quarter for Shea, we're getting to a point where he is tired. It's hard to pick up or to dribble and size somebody up and get by and run an offense after getting picked up 94 feet for, 46 minutes. And he's honestly the only defender that's guarding him that might be tired while doing it is Andrew Nembhard, who's obviously his primary defender, who's doing it for the most of the game. But when he gets a different body like an Aaron Nesmith or a Ben Shepherd or a TJ McConnell doing it, those guys are fresh legs. And it's hard to continue to do that against these good defenders that are so hungry, that want to do it, that have fun doing it. I mean, when Ben Shepherd and TJ McConnell are out there pressing him or pressing whoever, I mean, they get in the game and they're giddy. You can see them jumping around once the Pacers make a shot, because they know they're going to be able to go and press. So it's hard to ask Shea to do something like that, which they have a lot of good ball handlers on the roster. So I think if I was Coach Mark Dagnall, I'd probably have Chet or even Alex Caruso or somebody bring the ball up, take a little pressure off Shea. You can start your action with a Caruso, with a Lou Dort, with a J-Dub, with whoever, Isaiah Joe, doesn't matter to me, right? Start Shea off the ball, work him through some away screens, split screens, whatever, and then get him the ball without having to be so tired bringing it up every single time. Just so maybe he's more efficient as a scorer, which he already is so efficient, right? But I just want to see them mix in some different actions and this offense not be so stagnant. Pacer-wise, offensively, they're doing their thing. Tyrese Halliburton was looking to score. He was getting downhill. I credit that a lot to spacing and different schemes. They were setting Spain screens, a ton of pick and roll stuff. I mean, they had exits going on off of ball screens, and it's just a lot of good coaching, a lot of good schemes to get Tyrese Halliburton open going downhill. So offensively for them, I like what they're doing, and the role players are hitting shots. And it's always like everyone needs mentality. There's no, I need my shots, right? Pascal Siakam didn't really even play in the fourth quarter, or at least he didn't play a big role in the fourth quarter. Obi Toppin did. And, he had a big putback dunk, a big block. And I just love that, the coaching staff over there in Indiana is totally invested and trusted their guys to be able to go out there and perform. So what a game. Big TJ McConnell, big Ben Mathurin games. I almost called him Ben Shepherd, Ben Mathurin. And that's huge. That's huge. You got to win these games that role players go out there and play so well. So loved what I saw from them. I think the Thunder are okay. I still think the Thunder end up winning this series. They just have to make some adjustments. They did look a little rattled. Settle down. Be okay with it being in this road atmosphere. No, it's not going to be easy. But it's the mentality of not letting your, if you're not making shots, right? Let's say it's J-Dub or Shea, right? I felt like a little bit of this team in this game was letting their lack of efficiency on offense affect their effort on defense, which that can't happen. So they've got to figure that out. And I think they will. I need Chet to play better. Just period. Isaiah Hartenstein to make an impact. And you need one of those games from a role player, just like I said, a TJ McConnell or a Ben Mathurin game. And you get that from Alex Cruz almost every game. You had Lou Dort hitting 4 threes. But you need an Aaron Wiggins, an Isaiah Joe, an AJ Mitchell, a friggin' Isaiah Hartenstein, whoever, go in there and get you double-digit points with some stocks and a couple assists, a couple rebounds, a couple loose balls, forced turnovers, whatever. You need that from those guys. So I'm excited for Game 4, which is tomorrow. Don't have to wait 3 days. Just ought to wait one in between. So I'm excited for that. And, I'll see you guys.